This video is brought to you by Ugreen. I've been using the iPhone 17 for the past 2 months, and I can tell you that this is the best iPhone in years. Let me share with you why. The iPhone 17 comes in at $799 and now starts with double the base storage at 256GB compared to the iPhone 16. Already the first upgrade of the iPhone 17. Now, you may think the iPhone 17 looks similar to the iPhone 16, and well, you'd be correct. The slightly rounded aluminum frame is comfortable in the hand, the speakers are loud and clear, and the handy action button and USB-C are here too. But if we look closer, we'll see that the iPhone 17 is very different from the iPhone 16. The display on the 17 got a lot more pro. It is larger at 6.3 inches versus 6.1 inches, a difference that makes text ever so slightly more comfortable to read, while still keeping the phone relatively portable. And this is in part thanks to the super slim bezels, just like you get on the iPhone 17 Pro. For years, one of my complaints of the iPhone is just how easily the display scratches, but thankfully the iPhone 17 addresses this with a new ceramic shield too, for up to 3x better scratch resistance. And so far, my 17 has 0 scratches, and I couldn't say the same thing for the previous iPhone 16 or even 15 after just a few months of regular day-to-day use. But it gets even better. Notice how much less visible reflections are on the iPhone 17, and this is because Apple added a 7-layer anti-reflective coating. And this just makes everything on screen clearer and pop more, not just outdoors, but even indoors when dealing with things like ceiling lights. And then when you are outdoors, the now 3000 nits of brightness make it brighter than any iPhone that came before it. And this is a difference that I really appreciate when out and about trying to follow maps on a sunny day. Most importantly, the display on the iPhone 17 is now Pro Motion, meaning it has a 120Hz refresh rate just like on the Pros. Finally, and this makes any motion on screen look and feel super smooth. I can tell you that once you get used to 120Hz, it's hard to go back. As you can see, just on the display alone, the iPhone 17 got a multi-generational upgrade. And there's even more like with the camera. The camera on the iPhone 17 is just incredible. But before we take a look at that, all those photos and 4K videos do take up a lot of storage. So instead of paying for Apple's expensive storage or monthly cloud subscriptions, I use the Ugreen NAS DH2300, your own personal cloud. This thing eliminates those super stressful storage almost full notifications, and it's a one-off purchase that pays for itself over time, unlike the cloud storage. For example, iCloud's 12TB plan costs $59.99 a month. That's $720 a year. For that price, you can literally buy the NAS plus get way more storage outright, and you own it for years to come. Trust me, the math is mathing. Setup is super simple. I love the premium design. It is whisper quiet too. It holds 2 drives for up to 60TB of storage, that is 20 million photos or 40,000 full-length movies. Please don't actually try and watch 40,000 movies, touch grass occasionally. It is also great for backing up your computer seamlessly in the background. And it's seriously secure with 2 internationally recognized data security certifications. I've got mine set up in RAID 1, and this means that even if one of the drives were to fail, you won't lose any data. Just swap it out, put it back in place, and keep going. And look at how much faster the Ugreen NAS is at moving large files compared to traditional cloud storage. It's not even close. Plus, because it's always connected to the internet, everything is wireless and accessible from anywhere. With the smart Ugreen app, I can browse all my files and even get multi-user access. I also like these smart photo organization tools, to sort through those 20 million photos. Now that I've got the Ugreen NAS set up in my studio, my only regret is not getting it sooner. And right now, with Ugreen's holiday season discount, you can get up to 15% off via the links in the description. Okay, let's talk about the camera. The iPhone 17 has a 48 megapixel main camera and a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, up from 12 megapixels, and packs a neat new 18 megapixel center stage selfie camera. Let's analyze some real world examples. In general, I found the iPhone 17 to produce excellent photos. The main camera, the most important camera, is rich in detail without being overly sharp and strikes the right balance between being true to life yet still lively. There's also lots of dynamic range, and in darker settings there's minimal noise. While the iPhone 17 does not have a telephoto camera like the more expensive 17 Pro, it does have a 2x crop mode for the main camera. And this lets you punch in for portrait shots or product photography with still very decent results. Of course, going beyond 2x zoom, the quality does start start to fall off. The ultra-wide camera is equally strong too, now also 48 megapixels, showing even more detail and much less noise compared to that on the iPhone 16. And this makes the main and ultra-wide cameras on the 17 much more comparable in quality, meaning it is more natural to switch between the two lenses and get more creative when capturing moments. The new 18 megapixel center stage camera, thanks to using a square sensor, allows you to get a wider selfie and even lets you switch to taking landscape selfies without having to rotate your phone. This is ideal for group shots. I found myself using this feature often. Plus, on calls you get center stage, where the camera will track you as you move. Nice. 4K video on the iPhone 17 at this price is unmatched. Video is sharp, focus is spot on, exposure and white balance are set correctly and adjust smoothly. Capturing video on the iPhone 17 is a joy. The 17 also has the camera control button. While impressive from a technological perspective, letting you change camera settings and capture with just one button, I personally don't use it. And the main reason for this is the poor positioning, making it uncomfortable to use and slower versus just using the touchscreen on the phone. So for this reason, I turn this off in the settings. Powering the iPhone 17 is Apple's A19 chip, and this thing flies. In fact, in Geekbench 6, it outperforms last year's 16 Pro with the A18 Pro chip, both in CPU and especially GPU performance. Truly, the iPhone 17 runs at a flagship level. It handles day-to-day tasks like launching apps, switching between apps, editing photos with ease. Even in heavier tasks like gaming or ray tracing, it doesn't skip a beat. Now, while yes, it won't have the same incredible thermal management as on the iPhone 17 Pros for even better sustained performance, with the 17 I never felt like I was pushing it to its limits or that I really needed more. This iPhone is a beast and will be one for years to come. I would expect the iPhone 17 to get around 6 years of software support and updates. I always say it is important to factor in longevity to the price. Sometimes it is worth paying a bit more for a newer phone if it means that phone can last you for more years, and I think the iPhone 17 is one of those phones. Battery life on the iPhone 17 has been solid, lasting me all day, ending the workday with around 25 to 35% remaining, which is better than both the iPhone 16 as well as the 16 Pro, giving me around an extra 30 minutes to 45 minutes of screen time each day. Plus, the standby time is better too, losing less battery when the phone is not in use. You still get MagSafe, which I love for adding accessories like stands and wallets, and for easy wireless charging. And speaking of charging, the iPhone 17 charges at a just above average 27 watts wired or 15 watts wirelessly. So, should you buy the iPhone 17? The iPhone 17 may not have the sleek and super slim design of the iPhone Air, but the iPhone Air, in my opinion, is too big a compromise on camera, speakers, and especially battery life for most to make sense buying. On the other hand, yes, the iPhone 17 Pro does have even more power with better sustained performance and best of the best cameras, but of course it does come in at a much higher price of $300 more. A more reasonable comparison would be comparing the iPhone 17 to last year's now similarly priced iPhone 16 Pro. In fact, I've done a whole separate video on this, which I'll leave linked in the description, but spoiler alert, the iPhone 17 still ends up winning and is the better buy. And lastly, you may think about getting last year's regular iPhone 16, but the 17 is a major upgrade over the iPhone 16 in every way that matters most, and is the much better value buy, making this the underrated king of this year's iPhone lineup. And to make your iPhone 17 even better, be sure to check out my first 27 things to do video to unlock this phone's full potential. And as always, I will leave the purchase links down in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.